time for them. Okay, guys, here's a marker buoy. If you don't know what a marker buoy is, there's probably some people out there that have no clue what this is because it's old school. It's just a buoy with a piece of lead on it and a line on it. And you throw it in the water and it unwraps and it stays on the surface stationary. I remember back when I was in high school reading Bassmaster magazine about guys using a marker buoy that, to mark structure with. They had paper maps, they'd have those old flashers, and they'd chart out those drop-offs and stuff, and they'd throw a marker buoy out on the end of a drop-off. So they've been around forever. But what happened after GPS came along and after the improvements in GPS, people felt that they could pinpoint those offshore structures, and therefore they didn't need a marker buoy to tell them where to cast. But guys, this is not true. It's like you can still use a marker buoy to really pinpoint specific spots along with your GPS mapping. So here's what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, it's you found a brush pile out off the end of a point in 20 foot of water. You graphed over it, you put a waypoint on it, and then you go back over it and you look at your electronics and you see the area where that is and you start casting to there. Now, you don't really know where that exact brush pile is. You don't know the exact distance it is from it, anything like that, unless you're spotlight, and that's a different, thing we don't do here on the channel. But anyway, if you drop a marker buoy, you'll know exactly where to cast at. It doesn't matter if it's a offshore rock pile, if it's a drop off, whatever the structure is. When you're trying to cast to one specific spot, I still use marker buoys today. Now, what I usually do, let's say, for example, I'm out on a point and I find a drop off on a point, or I find a brush pile or a rock pile. Once I know where this is, once I idle over it a couple times, I'll throw that marker buoy like 20 foot to the left or the right of it, and then I'll swing around, let it settle down a little bit, let the fish get reacclimated where the motor's not over the top of their head. And once that marker buoy's in place, I know exactly where that pile is. It's like it's going to be 20 foot to the right of my marker buoy, and I can hit it every single time. Now, this is especially important if it's windy. Let's say the wind's blowing 15 miles an hour, or you have some current, some type of wind or current that can blow you off your spot. You know exactly where it's at. So you can't underestimate the importance of this. I have used this so many times in my fishing and cashed so many checks that I would not have cashed without that marker buoy. Now, some other things you can do with it. Let's say, for example, you're fishing a grass lake and you're way out off the bank in this big grass flat out there. You can do the same thing with that, because sometimes there will be little sweet spots within those grass areas. Maybe the grass